Yes, Todd.
When did Danny Hurley become Dan Hurley? When you win the championship, when you win 2 in a row, when the Lakers are all of a sudden interested in you? Everyone's calling him either Dan or Danny. No one is calling him either one or the other. There's a mix, and no one seems to know if it's Danny or Dan, including myself.
Or the third option, Don.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. That was my Andrew Kramer. I'm Dan Hurley. I've won 2 straight titles, and the Lakers want me, so I'm Dan, not Danny anymore. I'm not a little boy.
Dan.
Yes, Paul.
I'm on the UConn website, and he's listed as Dan Hurley, head coach, UConn basketball.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to go back and look in his past. If Dan Hurley, I'm going to go with Dan, gets the Laker job, does Bobby Hurley now get introduced as
Bob Hurley?
Bobby Hurley. Does Bobby Hurley get introduced as Dan Hurley's brother, Bob Hurley? Like, it used to be always Dan Hurley's. He's the younger brother, Bobby Hurley. I know that family. It's going the other direction.
Yeah, but there's Danny and then there's Bobby. So Bobby Hurley is not Bob Hurley. Now, that's his dad who's Bob Hurley. But out of all the things that I thought you might bring up about this story, I didn't think that it would be Dan or Danny Hurley.
Yeah, it's just bothering me a little bit. Every time I hear the name mentioned on TV or the radio or even in print, sometimes it's Danny, sometimes it's Dan.
I might say the switch has already been made from Danny is Bobby's little brother to now Bobby is Dan's older brother. I think that switch has been made.
Okay. Better career up to this point, Dan Hurley or Bobby Hurley?
Well, this was a poll question we had yesterday, too. Whose career would you want, Bobby's playing career or Danny's coaching career? You were very firmly in the Danny's coaching career.
Yeah. Because Bobby can't play anymore. Danny's still coaching.
See, Danny was the guy who played at Seton Hall. The coach is Dan.
Oh, okay.
That's the difference.
So once you become...
Danny Hurley was the guy that got blown out by 90 when Seton Hall played Duke, and they lost by like almost 100 points or something. It was humiliating. That's Danny Hurley. Okay. Dan Hurley is the face of college basketball.
So Danny can't be the face of college basketball. It's Dan Hurley.
No, he was the good point guard's little brother.
Yeah. Yes, Todd.
You wouldn't rather be the player, championships, Duke, played for Coach K, as opposed to, just being the coach and
yeah, but you live in the past, so you live in the 80s.
I do, but I just think it's a much bigger deal to say I played and won championships with Coach K at Duke as opposed to I led UConn to a couple of titles, which is great too, but I think the Duke playing thing is better.
Yeah, but I also get to factor in what he's going to do after this. Goes to the Lakers? I'd take his career over Bobby's. Bobby's was wonderful, but Danny he's the face of college basketball. He's won back-to-back titles. And maybe going to the Lakers.
So there's a new face of college basketball because everything changes.
Well, somebody
not gonna forever be the face of college basketball.
No, because if you're not in college basketball, then you're not the face.
And even if he stayed,
what are we doing here?
No, but he could stay and then
what
they
are
don't
we
win
doing
3 in
here?
a row,
What
or
are
it
we
doesn't
doing?
work out the next couple of
Friday Fritzy, here we go.
Gonna have burgers on donuts.
I know. See, this is where we get off the rails. We're not doing this today.
Burgers on donuts is a little weird, but I'm willing to try it.
But you started this morning early. And I said, we're not doing Friday Fritzy.
I was a little revved up this morning.
Yes. Next thing I know, we're using hockey analogies, and I just said, no, we're not doing that with your home life.
I'm Dan Hurley. I may take the Lakers.
When did he become a Dan?
I don't even know.
What?
Hey, what's going on, Danny? That's Dan.
That's Don to you.
Don.
I'm going to be coaching LeBron soon. I'll call him Danny. I'm not a little boy in the playground in New Jersey.
Yes, Paul.
Did a deep dive, found the bio of Danny Hurley as a player at Seton Hall, and he was listed at his bio as Danny Hurley.
Okay.
Going back 6 years ago, when Dan Hurley was the head coach of Rhode Island, it was Dan Hurley. Ooh. He's always gone by Dan as head coach. Confirmed.
Danny played at Seton Hall.
Yep.
Okay.
It would be great to get Dan Hurley back at Seton Hall someday. Just saying.